beautiful facility here in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin.
Your eyes don't deceive you. See a few cars on pit road, Parker.
I think one of those was Tyler Reddick, who pitted out the 6th position there, doing 4 Goodyear tires and fuels. We see some of these teams start to flip the stages. They also cleaned his windshield. He couldn't see really well, Marty.
Sammy Smith with his first ever live pit stop here in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. So, Steve, these teams pitting here before the end of the stage. You will see some who run through this stage. Oh, and a big wreck on the track, Rick.
Yeah, the 0-2 of Brett Moffitt hard into the tires. This will probably bring the caution out, Steve, if he can't get out of the gravel pit here.
It's also how successful Brett Moffitt will be of getting out of this gravel. That was a bad move right there, dumped. I think we're going to see this all connected. They were all racing in that area. There's the 23 and the 08 also spun around. And right now, pit road entry might get busy if people believe they can get to pit road before the yellow comes out. But the problem is the leaders are all the way on that back stretch. There it is, the yellow. So the caution will close pit road. No option to pit now. And Brett Moffitt will have to kind of get drug out of the sand there. This was a pretty tight battle. Oh man, it looks like just, I don't know, a brake failure, I'm assuming. Yeah. It doesn't look like any tires are locked up.
Yeah, there was something mechanically that happened to that race car. You know, there was no tire lock up, no, I didn't see any wheel hop. I mean, he just comes flying in there, and then these two guys, see the wheel hop?
Yes.
Yes, on the bottom. Yeah, you could definitely see in Andy Lally's car. You could go back and show that again. You watch the right rear tire, you can see it bouncing up and down on the racetrack, and unfortunately for Anthony Alfredo,
wrong place,
slow down. Yeah.
So let's take another look at that, Jeff. So as these two cars come into frame, we're going to freeze it kind of when you start to see this right rear of the 08. So he turns in, we're going to stop it right here. I want you to look at that right rear tire, this area right here. So as we go forward, watch this thing shake. The whole back of that car is shaking, loses control. Basically wheel hop, Jeff. That means normally it's by downshifting, not on the brakes, got in too deep, downshifted probably a little earlier than he wanted to try to slow the car down, and then the drive line literally wraps up, and the packed tires, if you could believe it, they will bounce like a basketball. They will leave marks across the pavement, and at that point, you're just a passenger. Now, Alfredo's saying, I don't care how you did it, but you spun me out. Like, wheel hop or no wheel hop, thanks.
Well, and it gets worse on old tires. As you try to run the car harder, it gets worse and worse. And the only thing you can do to keep from wheel hopping is stand in the throttle. Well, when somebody's on the outside of it, you stand in the throttle, what do you think is going to happen?
Restart coming up from Road America when we return.
I would expect to see the 54 to come to pit road very early. Probably in the next lap or two, they have to feel great about their strategy.
And Anthony Alfredo in the 23. Can he keep it out of the gravel pit? He does.
Looks like something, either a flat tire or a broken suspension on the left front of the 23. Remember, he was involved in an incident earlier where he got spun around.
And before this, the one of Sam Mayer coming into turn 5 also had an issue right here.
Yeah, once again, hits that curb in turn 5. Gets his tires on top of that curb, just like we saw earlier in the race, and now you've lost all grip. You know, I have to wonder also, guys, as people are watching this, you know, if somebody gets on the outside of you in turn 5, just don't give them room and put them on that curb. You know what I mean? And it really makes the car very difficult to slow down. You don't think driver, oh, look at this.
Yeah, that was Anthony Alfredo going into 1.
Yeah, the tire goes flat, and he just loses control.
See Noah Gregson right here. Spent a lot of time with he and his crew chief Luke Lambert yesterday. They've been working really hard on road course racing. Those guys are having a great time, love spending time with each other. See a battle right here. Allmendinger taking another spot.
Takes it away from Sage Karam as they're getting ready to go into turn 1 here.
Look at Noah, how hard he is under braking. Oh, contact right there.
Noah Gregson being aggressive, trying to hold off the 54, but here comes Ty Gibbs.
These two have had a few run-ins on road courses. That contact with the 45 of Karam really messed up Noah right there.
Oh, contact again. Josh Perry in the 8.
Oh, now we go.
No.
Slammed into the side of him, and he spins Sage Karam into the wall.
What a move by that yellow car of Jones to miss the wreck, and here comes the rest of the field.
They can't see. It's smoke and dust all the way across. More coming in too fast, and more contact.
A huge impact to Tyler Reddick in that 48.
Drivers going through, trying to get through, but couldn't see, and a lot of contact. And we see Josh Bilicki taking the Sargento billboard with him.
I don't know if that's what Sargento had in mind, but good coverage. Good
So
coverage.
much damage. Look at all these
Yeah.
cars. And some cars rolled away with significant damage as well. Remember, this track is only 30 feet long, 30 feet wide.
See Bilicki making his move. We saw Moffitt and the smoke coming up from that. Daniel Hemrick, a lot of damage there.
This might be one of the biggest road course wrecks we have seen in some time. We talked a lot about spotters and blind areas of the racetrack, and I think that's what you saw, Rick, is you just, you continue to see smoke and dirt all day long, and now this time there are cars on the other side of it as we see. I think that's Brandon Brown.
Yeah, Brandon Brown climbing out.
Gingerly climbing out. Great to see him. Yeah.
Big hits.
Yes.
Big hits.
Huge hits. Tyler Reddick with big damage. It all started with Sage Karam and Noah Gregson going at it.
Yeah.
And
John Hunter Nemechek, a lot of damage to the 26.
Yeah, it's going to be a long, long list.
oh,
Yeah, Brandon Brown down. You see him up against the wall as the AMR safety crew getting to him quickly.
Myatt Snyder coming to check on him.
Yeah, Myatt Snyder climbing out of his car to check on the driver of the 68, Brandon Brown. Again, this all started with Sage Karam, Noah Gregson fighting for the same real estate, and then it looked like tempers started to flare.
I think that's exactly what happened. Right here, Noah Gregson, real aggressive, underbraking, but has the spot. And Sage Karam on the outside. They drive into turn one. It's contact right here. Right? Now that's got Noah sideways. See, he starts to turn around, gets really loose. Now he's going to lose this spot to Ty Gibbs. And Noah's frustrated, loses his momentum. I think you saw his hand out the window right there. Upset at Sage. And then they go into this corner and contact again. And now, see this contact, they're banging into each other off the racetrack. And now Noah, I don't know if he had a mechanical issue or just hung a right in frustration, and that started this massive crash behind them.
Well, look what everybody sees, too. You can't see anything with all that dust.
Yeah, that yellow rear bumper you just saw come in, that's Reddick. And he can't see where he's going. The rest of these cars are just kind of going into the dust, debris, and the smoke. Let's take a look at from this angle right here. You're going to see the 9 go around, the 45 go around. The 45 makes contact. I mentioned the 19 evasive maneuver, does a wonderful job missing it. Gregson comes in, a huge hit for Myatt Snyder into the 10. And now we see Reddick sitting here and right there. I believe that is. Yes, that's the 68 of Brandon Brown. Nowhere to go. Heavy contact into Reddick.
That was a big hit, guys.
Yeah.
And you know,
A lot of big hits.
you can see right there, they're sideways, and everybody behind them is just nowhere to go. And look at all the dirt, the smoke. Visibility is about impossible. And they just start, just coming into the wreck with no ability to see what's in front of them. Oh.
Yeah.
Brandon Brown was behind Sammy Smith. Sammy Smith went to the left, and as soon as he went to the left, that car was right in front of him. He had nothing he could do.
So we saw Myatt Snyder. We're going to ride along now with Ty Gibbs here. We saw Myatt Snyder ended up on the other side of the course as what Brandon Brown. Then we saw him run over to make sure to check on him. But take a look at what happens here.
It's turn 1 heading over to turn 3. So you see he gets through the melee. He's in front of it. And this is out the back. Now you're going to see this contact.
This is moments ago. Brandon Brown standing back up. Myatt Snyder over there to help. Such a big hit, though. Caution has come out. You saw the 35 of Chris Dyson, the 44-year-old from New York, stuck in the gravel pits. Here is how this happened.
See, Chris Dyson just looks like some kind of problem under braking. Huge contact. Chris Dyson, a two-time INSA champion, the 2021 Trans Am champion. Things not going his way today.
Yeah, you called it, Jeff. Looks to me like some sort of failure under braking. Maybe front brakes. Maybe that's why it spun out. The rears did look locked up. We're getting late in the race. Equipment started to be used up.
And Sam Mayer was like, what's happening here?
Yeah. He come by Sam.
Yeah, battling all throughout the field, riding along with Riley Herbst right here. You see Sammy Smith, the 18 car, sideways in the middle of the racetrack. And then look at damage with the Brandt car. See the hood all pulled up on that car. That's Miguel Paludo.
Well, you know, and there's an impact to the rest of the cars, right? Ty Gibbs right behind Kyle Larson. Remember, he's, you know, leading the playoff standings for Xfinity, and there's some playoff points he probably would have liked to get today, but Kyle Larson kind of gobbled them up by winning both stages. You look at the 19 of Brandon Jones, running 6, Rick. It's a great run for them.
And Brandon Jones won at Martinsville early this year.
Take a look at the playoff standings. You saw those drivers in yellow that have won that will advance. Larson not eligible. Oh, and around goes the 07 of Cole Custer. A lot of damage to the front of that car.
A big impact for the 07.
That's in turn 5.
And we're seeing a little bit of flames out of the hood. Kim, caution is out.
And a lap before that, Cole Custer came on the radio and he said, guys, I'm losing my brakes. The brakes are absolutely fading. And then right as the incident happened, you guys, they exploded on me. The brake rotors exploded. That's Cole Custer in the 07.
We've seen turn 5. It's been described by many different drivers as the longest braking zone, the hardest braking zone. It's that downhill one you described to the left-hander, Jeff. We've seen some issues there today. This caution did come out before the white flag, so we will see some more laps and some more racing and a restart.
But a very solid weekend and a lot of experience gained. We see right here, it's big contact, Steve, to the wall.
And to Rick's point, that's driver's left. So he didn't go straight through the corner with no brakes. He's definitely turned to the left. So we're not sure how he got there, Rick. Yeah. But to your point, whether it sounds like it was a brake failure, you assume it's fronts that would overheat. That would usually spin the car out. Rear's locked up. Maybe turned it left. Maybe he chose to go left. You see the left rear tire missing. That probably spun out through the, you know, really spectacular that no one else was coming to spin across the track like that.
And could a brake issue eliminate that left rear tire? I mean, could there have been an issue with that?
You see Chad Knaus.
Yeah.
He has a smile, but he knew it wasn't going to be that easy.
They're never easy, are they, Steve?
They are never easy.